What's up, fellow budget tone chasers? Welcome back to one more video here at the channel. And today we're going to do a list of the 5 best Strat guitars style from 2024. So stick with me. Today, starting one more different style of video here. I didn't test till now, but yeah, the time has come. Before we jump straight to the guitars, I would like to give a general overview about what is going to be the criteria and the logic that I use to choose those guitars. As probably you know, we are talking about a global audience that we have here at the channel, so sometimes not all the brands are able to be found everywhere. So I try to stick to those brands that would be able to be found in majority of the countries or majority of the continents, so most of you would somehow have the possibility to find those guitars in a place to buy or sometimes even in a marketplace. But of course, maybe some of the specific ones that I'm going to choose here, you're not going to be able to find. But this is the reason why I chose 5 different brands and 5 different models. So in case you're not going to be able to find the first one, you could jump to the next one in the line. I try to jump out of the most affordable common options, like for example, Squire ones or the Epiphone ones when we're going to talk about single cuts, because we understand that those are more or less already well known. And the idea here is to try to bring you some different alternatives that are able to offer more for less price, considering that they are not going to be benefiting from their brand for most of those cases. Okay, so let's jump to the first, number 1. The first guitar, it's actually from the Court. That is a Chinese brand, but that sells worldwide. So I believe that it's going to be really easy for you to find in your country. And the model that I'm bringing is the Court G110, which is costing today more or less around 200 bucks. So why I brought this guitar? In terms of specs, it's a pretty simple guitar. I'm going to use my mobile phone here because I'm not able to memorize all the specs. But it's a poplar body guitar with hard maple bolt on neck, Jatoba fingerboard, satin finish with a 6-point vintage tremolo bridge, HSS pickup configuration, 22 frets with 25.5 scale length, in a 5-way pickup selector, the standard from the Stratocaster, and they use their own pickups, so the power sound pickups. In terms of specs, this guitar is pretty basic, pretty simple, but the difference that this guitar brings is that it's really well built. So it's a really good guitar that you could already purchase and start using without needing to do upgrades to it. But also on the future, if you'd like to improve, for example, the hardware of the guitar or change the pickups, it's still a really good guitar in terms of build quality, and you would be able to upgrade this without losing the value that you have invested in the guitar. So it works as a really good base for upgrades. And for those who are not interested in upgrades, no problem, just take out from the box, do a good setting, take to your luthier, and you're good to go. Now let's jump to the second one of the list. The second one that I'm bringing today, it's actually the Ibanez AZE S40, which is a guitar that is currently costing 300 bucks, and some of the YouTube channels are already considering this as maybe the best affordable Strat style guitar from 2024. The reason why, it's really well built, also using really good wood, so for example, body in poplar, also maple neck, the Jatoba fretboard just like the Court one, and it has what it's called the AZES neck profile, which has a thickness of 21 millimeters in the first fret and 23 on the 12th fret, a scale length of 25 inches, which gives you a little bit more flexibility for bending, and it has already the synthetic nut. For us, this is a good thing, considering that you would like to use the tremolo, so it helps to guarantee the stability of the tuning when you're going to be using the weighing bar. And it has 22 medium frets, what is basically followed by an HSS pickup set, which uses a tone control and a volume control, and a toggle switch, which gives much more flexibility than the standard HSS guitars. Basically, with this toggle, you are able to change not only if you're going to be playing with the pickups in a split coil or with the regular humbucker on the bridge, but also allows you to enable the neck and bridge pickups on the same time, working more in a kind of a Telecaster style. And it also allows you to put the pickups in series or in parallel, what is really, really nice. So that it's giving you much more flexibility in terms of tonal ranges. The Ibanez, currently it's costing $300, what is a really, really good value for the price, considering that this guitar, again, it's a brand that you're going to be able to find in any retailer all over the globe. So Sweetwater, Thomann, basically the biggest stores around the globe are going to be able to provide you this guitar. So really easy to find and really good one to invest. Now let's take a look on the third option. For the third option, I'm bringing one guitar that is not talked so much about, but it's a pity because it's a really good value for the price. I'm talking about the Larry Carlton S3 SS ST, which is costing $350, so a little bit more compared to the Ibanez that we mentioned about. But this is a little bit more standard classic Strat guitar, so it resembles much more to what you would expect in a Fender guitar than in a really modern Strat. So from our list, it's the first 3 single pickup Strat, and it brings already a really close configuration compared to a traditional Fender. So body in mahogany, the neck in bolt-on maple, fingerboard in rosewood. It brings ivory dot fingerboard inlays, what is really nice. The traditional standard neck profile in C, the fingerboard radius in 9.5 inches, a scale of 25.5 inches, bone nut, what guarantees to you a really good stability in terms of tuning, especially if you want to use the whammy bar, 22 medium jumbo frets, so this is really good because it helps you to be a little bit more precise when you're playing. And it has the standard configuration of the Fender, so basically one volume and 2 tone controls and a 5-way switch that basically you're able to change from all the 3 single pickups. In addition to that, it has also a 2-point tremolo. What is really nice, it's the first one on the list that actually we're not talking about 8 screws fixation bridge. And these two pivots helps a lot in terms of smoothness of usage of the whammy bar and also in terms of stability of the tremolo. So it's a pretty good guitar, much more close to what you would expect from a Fender. So if you are much more interested on having that more vintage style looking ST guitar, probably this is the best one to go in the list. Let's take a look on the fourth round of the options. For the fourth place, I am bringing the Earth NK VS60, which is currently costing around $450. For those who doesn't know Earth Guitars is basically a Chinese brand that produces really high-ending guitars in a really affordable price. So all Earth Guitars tends to offer a lot for what it costs. And as you're going to see, in terms of specs, it has a huge upgrade compared to the first 3 options that I have offered to you. So, talking about the wood, it has roasted book match mahogany in the body, it has a roasted Canadian maple on the neck, including the roasted Canadian maple in the fingerboard, so it's not a single piece, but both from roasted Canadian maple, and it has a compound radius of 7.25 inches to 9.5 inches. So again, really modern spec. In terms of neck profile, also it brings a compound profile, leaving from a U to a C shape, what is really good for those who like to be a little bit more fast shredders. And in terms of scale, 25.5 inches, so the most traditional Stratocaster scale. When we talk about frets, it has 22 medium jumbo stainless steel frets, so the first one that's featuring stainless steel frets. And for those who already know Earth guitars, will notice that this is basically one of the things that calls most the attention. That is what is called the right angled rounded fingerboard edges. So those are basically fret endings that you guarantee that you have 0 fret sprout. It's everything fully rounded and really comfortable to play. So really beautiful and really well made. In terms of nut, it has a bone nut of 42 millimeters, and it has dual action truss rod with the bottom wheel adjustment, so you don't need to be actually handling in the headstock to be able to adjust the truss rod. What is also really nice and a pretty much modern way of adjusting truss rods. When we come to the pickups, it also uses Earth custom pickups that in this case are the V60 in Alnico 5, and this guitar specifically brings again SSS, so all 3 single coil style pickups. As consequence, you're going to have the most standard way of wiring, so a 5-way switch with 2 tones and 1 volume. And to finish, we have also really interesting things like a 2-point anchoring, so 2 pivots bridge. What is also really stable, it has a really big block on the back, so really smooth and really well done. So in terms of upgrades, it's huge what you have when you move from the Larry Carlton that we were talking about, $350, to a Earth, but we're already talking about $450. But if you are looking for a guitar that has the same level of specs, or maybe even better, for a lower price, you need to check the 5th one from our list, which is the Harley Benton ST Modern Plus, which is currently costing $400 when it is in stock. What unfortunately it's not so often, but if you're interested, of course, as all Harley Benton guitars, you're going to be able to find at Thomann website. Talking about the specs of the Harley Benton ST Modern, it's made in American alder. It's also made with a roasted flamed Canadian maple. Basically, the neck is gorgeous. In all the guitars, if you're going to check all the YouTube reviews here in the network, you're going to find that all the guitars has really, really beautiful roasted Canadian maple. So it's not something that they selected only for some endorsers. It's something that they are really being able to do in a really good consistency. So really well done by Harley Benton. In terms of fingerboard, it brings Laurel fingerboard. It has dot fingerboard inlays with fluorescent neck markings, so if you are playing in the dark, you're going to be able to see it shining. It's a kind of a gimmicky thing, but nice thing to add. And it also brings the right angled rounded fingerboard edges, so pretty close to what you're going to find in the Earth guitars. It brings, of course, stainless steel frets, also featuring the Jumbo stainless steel. It brings a scale of 25.5 inches with a nut of 42 millimeters, fully graphite nut. So really good in terms of stability. And what is maybe the most impressive here, this guitar features by itself the Babbitt's FCH 2.CZ Series C tremolo, that if you're going to look for this tremolo by itself, it represents maybe 50% of the cost of the guitar if you'd like to buy just the tremolo. So for this price, it's something unbelievable. It's basically impossible to understand how Harley Benton is able to do this, but they are. And to do not say that it finishes there, it also brings the best series of pickups from Harley Benton, which are the Tesla pickups, again set in SSH, so humbucker and 2 single coils, with a 5-way toggle switch, which you can use the tone knob of the guitar as a coil split, so able to turn this into an SSS guitar. And you're going to be able to find basically 1 tone and 1 volume control. To end all this, we're talking about still having the Sungil ML55 locking machine heads with the Harley Benton logo. So it's basically the best scenario in terms of stability for whammy using. So you don't need to upgrade anything in terms of stability of whammy bar using. And it even comes by stock with Elixir coated strings. So the best coated strings from the market, which guarantees to you a really long usage of the stock strings that you would receive. What is basically unbelievable when you think everything that it offers for the price. So basically, guys, those were my selection of the 5 best Strat guitars of 2024. And now I would like to listen from you. Is there any guitar that you think that should be in the list, that you would change? Some guitar that you have that you'd like to share your experience on using this guitar? And more than that, guys, let me know here in the comments below which other style of guitars that you'd like to see in my 5 top list, considering that we still have lots of models to do, and I would like to share with you as much as I can. So, as always, guys, if this content was helpful to you somehow, please consider subscribing to the channel, hitting the like button, and sharing this content with everybody so YouTube can actually understand that our channel needs to grow. And if you'd like to continue supporting our channel, you can also become a member of the channel, clicking in join here below, or reading the QR code here in the corner of the video, so you can participate in the giveaways of the channel, which happen every single month, and also receive some special perks like anticipate video releases, some single and captures that we have for the black box, thank G, and much more to come soon. I'll catch you on the next, guys. Keep on rocking.